Mike, would you give us a little history of yourself and the businesses that you have owned here in the Quad Cities?
Sure, I appreciate the question. We've owned a number of businesses over the years. Freemire Enterprises has been around since 1962. It's had a number of different operating companies. We've owned Signature Lawns, Results Integrated Marketing, and now Total Turf and Landscape. So it's been an entrepreneurial experience with all sorts of different things. So it's been a lot of fun. We had been with a different agency in town for about 2 decades. And literally we found ourselves in a position where we weren't getting the answers we needed, when we needed them, how we needed them, and a real thorough answer to our questions. And insurance would be something, in our opinion, that you purchase it, you rely on the people to be professional, to get you the right answers, and that's why we went to Greg at Nelson Brothers. Greg had approached me 5 or 6 years before we ever started to do business with him. I knew right away when I met him that he was a person that understood his business and wanted to understand mine. And when the time was right for me to make a change, I made a change. And shopping wasn't really the answer. It was picking up the phone and calling Greg. And I knew I'd find the answers that I needed. I knew I'd have the commitment that I needed. And I knew that Greg would be able to answer the questions and give us the coverages that were required of our businesses. It's of paramount importance to know and trust our insurance counselor. The fact of the matter remains, they're supposed to be experts. They're supposed to protect us. They're supposed to give us kind of, this is what your policy does and does not cover, and an assessment of risk and some reasonable expectation of what would happen in worst case scenarios and what would normally happen. And it's imperative that we rely on those professionals to get us the right information so we can make good business decisions, starting with the first one which we make, which would be to work with MBA. Greg's an interesting man. He's pleasant and he's enjoyable to work with. We have had our share of differences. At the same point in time, that's really important, because we don't need yes people. What we need are people who give us an assessment and give us their professional opinion. We may or may not like the answer, but the answer is correct. And that's what I've found to be most important with Greg, is that he gives you the right answer the first time. Would I feel comfortable recommending Nelson Brothers and Greg to family and friends and other business associates? Absolutely, I'm comfortable. I have done so, and my hope is that people would steer their business here because it makes sense, because it's the right thing to do, and because they can rest assured, just as I do, that those issues which insurance covers are covered.